Hi there, I'm Holly McDonald with the Costa Mesa Pod, and this is a podcast where we explore all of the things that make the lifestyle, businesses, the activities here so unique. Today I am joined by Danielle Connell of Cliche, and we're going to find out more about her business, which is a very unique boutique type of company here. So go ahead, tell us about what you do here.
So basically, we do custom weddings. So we're a boutique wedding stationer. We focus on invitations, but we definitely offer the custom experience for our couples. So they come to us like from the very beginning, save the dates, invitation suites, and then all the way through the whole wedding. So we just kind of bring in all those design elements cohesively and, to their seating charts, welcome signs, place cards, like everything that you can think of.
All the details.
Yes, all the details.
So how long have you been in business?
So I actually started freelance. I started taking jobs back in 2016. I still was working a few bartending shifts at the time, so I kind of merged the two. And so I would say full-time I went in 2019. I still held on to like one bartending shift, but the pandemic definitely forced me out of that. So it was great. It was in the last 2 years we've really with the wedding boom and just everything going on, it's been pretty excellent.
Yeah, it seems like it was good timing for you because, like you said, like bars were obviously kind of shut down for a while.
Yeah.
And then, weddings were too, but at least you get this up and going so you can catch up.
Yeah, I definitely had some time to think in 2020 because I was so busy in 2019, but I was still at that point in my business where I was saying yes to everything. I was still doing large-scale chalk menus for restaurants. I was kind of all over the place because I loved everything, like interior murals, and then I really niched down and got intentional, in 2020. And so the last 2 years have just been all weddings, all details, and I love it.
Yes, and I saw on your website that you have had so much exposure and even accolades from all these wedding venues, the bridal websites and stuff. Yeah. So what was that like, or how did you get noticed by them? Do people nominate you? Do you nominate yourself? How does that work?
So basically for the features, those a lot of times are submitted through planners, through photographers, whoever you're working with. I've been lucky that I get to work with the most talented planners, and I work with a lot of them repeatedly. So, it's just been really cool because we get to, I get to work with the same people a lot, and they just do, the most fantastic, phenomenal events. So, that part's really cool.
Okay. Well, and obviously, we're in a location where there are a ton of wedding venues nearby.
Yes.
So, and, obviously people are always getting married, but I'm assuming that there's a high demand between the wedding planners and the people getting married and the venues for your type of service.
Yeah, it's been a little bit crazy. It's been really fun though. Just keep my tears inside most of the time.
What is your busiest season?
So in California, in Southern California, there is no off season for weddings. I found it's just so our busiest times are March, July, and October, and that's because in March we are doing all the spring wedding day of, but all the invitations are going out for the summer weddings. And then in July, the same case, all the summer weddings day of, we're doing all the invitations, getting them out for fall, and then fall is just insane. So,
yeah. We do have perfect weather here.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. Yeah, exactly. It's a beautiful time to get married all the time, so everybody just keeps doing it.
Well, and you're a local from Costa Mesa.
I am.
So born and raised.
Born and raised.
What brought you back here, or did you ever leave?
I didn't really leave. I've lived in every part of Costa Mesa. I actually was able to open this brick and mortar, which is more of a creative studio, but we do rent it out for little workshops, parties. A little 7-year-old's birthday here was a couple weeks ago, and it was so adorable. They decked out the whole place. We kind of try to keep it really really crisp and really minimal so that it can be, used for that type of event. Smaller events, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not huge.
It's cute. It has a nice, bohemian, modern vibe to it. Yeah. And it's 2 spaces, I guess. It's 2 units combined, so it is a good size.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect for us. It was really cool to move from my dining room studio to just spread out a little bit, and it's been a really fun adventure somewhere.
Yeah. How long have you been here?
So we just moved in January 2021, or sorry, 2022.
Okay, so going on a year almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really cute space, and it's very accessible accessible too, like right off the freeway and
Yeah.
everything. So.
Perfect location.
Yeah.
I was really excited when I saw it.
So you mentioned that you were kind of doing a whole bunch of different things with the calligraphy and everything. How did you like fall into it though?
So I feel like part of my origin story in that respect is like very similar to a lot of other wedding professionals. I did my own wedding. I screen printed all of my own invitations. I hand lettered every address. I painted every sign. But I do remember I was out in my backyard painting like all my signage by hand, and I just remember, gosh, like if somebody would just pay me to do this, my life would be perfect. And then somehow I just manifested it. Like I just like dove in like head first. I like practice every day. I just with no real intention of monetizing at that time because I guess I didn't really realize the possibilities, but I just loved it. I was obsessed with it, and so like I ate, breathed, and slept, whatever, you know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's so cool. Like when your passion can become something that you can make for your living.
Yeah. And so yeah, it just kind of snowballed from there. Like I got my first sweet, kind soul that trusted me to do their wedding invitations, and I manifested that within like 6 months of like deciding to do it, and then it just kind of took off from there. So
yeah, it's been pretty cool. So I mean, on average, like how many weddings are you usually working on at a time?
A lot. So 2022, it's gonna look like we're closing out at like a little over 60 weddings.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot of I would say like 2/3 of those we did both invitations and day of, so that it's like that cohesive like custom wedding experience. So I mean, it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's more than one weekend. So
yeah,
and I'm sure some weekends are crazier than others. So.
Yeah, but it's so much fun, and it's definitely a learning curve like over the last few years of like just figuring it all out, but it's been great.
So do you have to be like, are you able to go away after? Like, do you get a break? I mean, because
not a lot.
A lot of people like will also get married on holidays and stuff like that too.
Yeah, well, the great part about my job in the wedding industry is that I don't have to be on site. I hand everything off a few days before the wedding, so I'm not working weekends a lot unless, I mean, I am working weekends a lot, but it's not on site. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you just get to plan or whatnot.
Yep, exactly.
Well, I mean, I saw some samples of your calligraphy. It looks beautiful, and I know that is like such a skill and a talent.
That's a lot of practice.
Yeah, I remember practicing when I was little.
Yeah,
just for the heck of it, and it was like, yeah, it doesn't look like it should, you know. But yeah, to have that beautiful touch at a wedding is, you know, such a nice gift, and I'm sure people really appreciate it. You're part of their special day.
Totally.
Yeah,
I definitely feel gratification in that like I feel like our clients are just so awesome. Like we just attract such like wonderful clients, and I feel like they really do it really does like make a difference for them. Like all of the details that like are photographed and that they remember, and then they actually have like a tangible like keepsake invitation set that they like can keep forever. You know?
Yeah.
So everything else gets thrown out.
Is there anything that you would say kind of sets your business apart from some of the other businesses that are like this?
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, it's definitely, I guess when you're outside of it, you could maybe like lump a lot of stationers together, but I think it's kind of like if you're like looking to date someone, right? Like you want to find somebody that you feel like you mesh with. Like we're really focused on customer service and that aspect of the business. I mean, I do work directly with most couples planners, but some styles of service are different. So it's like whether you want to have like a fully like hands-on service, or if you want like a little bit more hands-off, and I work only with the planner, you know. So it's we offer like a big range of that, and if somebody needs like help deciding, you know, what they actually need, like we're happy to educate our clients too. So we definitely like pride ourselves on that.
Is it just you, or are there other people?
So I am the main person, and then I do have a production assistant, and we have just taken on another assistant. So it's kind of cool. We're growing our little fan.
So I'm sure many people come to you through their planners and through referrals. But if somebody wanted to meet with you and talk about, you know, planning their wedding invitations or whatnot, what would be the next steps?
So I make it as easy as possible. I have a really easy inquiry form on my website, and I just have like all the most necessary questions that I can help them better with, just to like give like like the initial grounding for that. So they would just go to my website, papercliche.com, and fill that out, and then I usually have like a little phone call to like learn about them and their fiance, and just like get a little bit more like of their vision and if we're going to be a good fit. So it's as streamlined as possible.
Okay, so they don't necessarily come here to start the process. They start with a phone call.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then they can come in here and meet with you and like see what you can produce.
Exactly. Yeah. Because everything's super tangible that we do, so it's nice to like see and feel the papers and like see the printing methods and see the quality. So we like to offer that to our custom clients.
Do you find that there are often clients, like husbands and wives or whatnot, that disagree on things, or is it usually like, is the wife more just vocal about it, or what do you
I
see?
actually haven't really run into that often. I think, like maybe budget wise, like one of them is more frugal than the other, but not really. Like I feel like when we're just, we don't get that a
That's
lot.
good.
Yeah.
That's good. Because I get that with real estate. Like,
Oh,
I'm like,
sure.
the wife likes this, the husband likes that.
Yeah.
So, but, when it's such a big day,
Yeah.
I know with my own wedding, I was not as much into the details. Like, I had the big picture, but my husband was more vocal about some of the smaller
It's
stuff.
like a holistic, that's perfect.
Yeah, I never would have expected it, but yeah, it's funny what you find out.
Totally. Well, and that's like the biggest part about it too. It's like what we do is definitely not for everybody. Because like as you said, like I actually answered a phone call a few weeks ago, and she was like, "I don't give a shit about my invitations." Like that was what she said, and I was like, "Well, then this is not the right this is not the right fit for you, you know."
Yeah.
Which is totally fine. Like you definitely don't like have to spend any money on these things. Like, it's definitely you have to love it. You have to like really enjoy the little details, you know?
Yeah, no. Well, I appreciate the little details. I know, like, if I receive a wedding invitation that is just, beautiful and lacy or whatever, just has all those special little things. It's like, oh, they really did it really nice.
Yeah, and represents their style and their love and like all of those things. And, making it like a little experience for their guests.
It must be so fun to be part of that like special time in people's lives.
I love it.
Yeah,
it's very gratifying.
And I guess one last question is just kind of tie it back to Costa Mesa.
Yeah.
I know you're from here, but is there any particular reason that you set up your business here, or that you feel like it represents Costa Mesa in any way?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I definitely set up here because I love it here. It's a really good city. I'm very biased. It's my hometown, but I always seem to come back to it even after travels. I guess, like setting up here, I actually have a girlfriend that's in one of these suites as well. And so when I was here, I like looked over and I was like, oh, that's an empty space. And I kind of had it like in my mind that maybe one day that would be like the next move. So it just happened to work out really well.
It seems like you have a very powerful manifestation skill. So I think everybody should be like very inspired by that. So. Well, I really appreciate you meeting with me. Please tell everybody where you're at on Instagram as well, or anywhere online that they can see some of your work because it's beautiful.
Thank you. You can check me out on Instagram. It's Paper Cliche, so ITS Paper Cliche, and then my website is papercliche.com, and that has all my information on it and everywhere that you can possibly get a hold of me.
Great. Well, thank you so much. And everybody, please check out the Instagram, the website, and see what she has to offer. And if you know of anybody getting married that's going to be wanting some cool invitations or any sort of calligraphy need, Danielle's your girl.
Thanks for coming.
Bye.